The following podcast contains alcohol-enhanced conversations about alcohol, as well as a potential for discussions about other topics of dubious, disturbing, possibly offensive, but usually hilarious interest. The opinions stated herein are solely of the person stating them, and any endorsement of these opinions by any other party is not implied. Foul language is likely, but intolerant viewpoints are not. Listener intoxication is advised. Hello and welcome to episode 18 of the Whiskey Tangent Podcast. I'm Scott.
I'm Ed.
And tonight we interrupt our regularly scheduled whiskey programming to bring you our patented taste comparisons to another beverage that's near and dear to our livers, beer. But not just any beer, specifically beer that's spent some amount of time aging in barrels that previously contained bourbon. A nearly 30-year-old trend that got its start right here in the good old US of A. And speaking of America, it's pretty damn cold out here right now in our corner of it. So we thought it would be the perfect time to sit back with a couple of bros, crack open a couple of brews, and, complain about shit. So, like he does, Ed's going to start us off by introducing all the beers we're drinking tonight, as well as who we're drinking them with.
So we've been talking about this episode with these two guys for a while. We have a long history together. Jay and Christian, say hi, guys.
Hello.
Good evening.
Welcome to the Whiskey Tangent Podcast.
Thanks for having us.
What he means is thanks. Thanks for having us.
I've worked with Jay for many years, and we have our own stories. But Christian and I, we were neighbors for a long time, and him and I kind of had our craft beer journey. Or we would try a different IPA or something. So we have a long history of drinking beer together, which is why having him here tonight is such a special occasion for us as we do our first episode on beer. And let me tell you about which beers aged in bourbon barrels we're going to talk about. We have an Allagash Barrel and Bean Stout Tripel Ale, which is going to come in at a 10% alcohol by volume. Then we have an Allagash
Curieux
Ale. I don't speak French. 11% alcohol by volume. Dragon's Milk Stout, also 11%. The granddaddy of them all, a Goose Island Bourbon County Stout at a Hold Your Liver 14.1%. Innis and Gunn Porter, 7.4%. A Jack Abbey Framinghammer Baltic Porter at 10% alcohol. And then a Troegenator Double Bock, 9.8%. And the first one we're going to start with, we thought we would do the Goose Island.
First round.
Chris brought this. Chris, tell us a little bit about Goose Island, your experience with it.
Let's let Scott talk about that beer here. He's got a whole write-up.
Maybe we should taste it, and then we can talk about it, because this is the first one. Well, not this one in particular.
Right.
But Goose Island was the first people to do it.
All right,
I will say it's out of Chicago, and it was thought up in around 1992.
It's considered possibly, or is it the first beer in bourbon barrels?
It's absolutely the first one. They had the idea. They did. Who
the hell knows? I mean, come on, let's be honest here. Beer has been stored in barrels for
let's call it the first one commercially produced.
First one in America.
All right, let's take a sip. Tell me what you guys think, and then I'll tell you what they tell you that you should taste.
Ooh, all right.
Oh, my God, that is so dense. Wow.
Oh, that's nice.
Wow.
That's fucking nice.
Wow.
Some of it's still stuck to my fork.
Wow. I don't know if it's worth $1 an ounce or not, but damn, it tastes like it might be.
Was this one 11%?
14.1%.
Oh, shit, you're right. It's almost like a barley wine.
Yeah, that's pretty close. Barley wine, yeah.
Jay, what are you tasting?
I'm loving the chewiness of it. I mean, I'm just chewing on it.
Like if beef jerky was a beer?
Kind of hoping I don't bust a tooth.
Wow.
It's thick.
It's kind of like Robitussin mixed with cold, old coffee.
Oh.
Wow.
It reminds me a lot of a beer that I used to get around Christmas time, Santa Claus. You guys ever had Santa Claus before?
Yeah, sure.
It has that toasty nut.
What's the other one? The elf one. There's the Mad Elf.
Mad Elf, yeah.
Right.
Is that Troegs? That's a Troegs.
Yeah, that's it. We'll see how that stacks up against the
right.
Troegenator that we have.
Yeah, this is really cool.
They're asking for you to taste intense aromas of charred oak, vanilla, caramel, and smoke.
Caramel.
Yeah, I've definitely got the caramel.
I suppose vanilla.
Yeah, definitely a
There's
little
a
vanilla
sweet.
in there.
There's definitely a sweet.
I don't agree with the Robitussin, but I definitely can taste the coffee factor of it. It's
I think he meant like the thickness of it.
I know. I
right?
was just teasing, but yeah.
It's how it coats your tongue.
Right.
Some of us, since we're having bourbon barrel beers, we
Yeah,
figured we should have some bourbon on the counter to kind of clean up palate between beers,
I finished mine. Pour me more, bitch.
which is why I poured myself more before we started, and you criticized me like you always do, and here I still have bourbon.
He's totally right. He's totally right.
If I may, in particular, I'm really enjoying the way the glass vessel contains it and keeps it from spilling out all over the counter. It's good to have a glass that.
All right, Jay's got a little passive aggressive anger towards me.
What's that?
And
It's not.
it's not unfounded.
It's not unfounded.
I'm just saying, Ed. Look how the glass holds.
Yeah,
So,
look at
what-
the glass. It's perfectly pristine. There's no cracks in it or anything.
So what happened is when I arrived today, I had a bundle of stuff. I had beer, I had the bourbon, I had some desserts. And as I took out the bottle of bourbon, I set it down next to the bag, and on the counter was 4 beautiful glasses.
Now 3.
Now 3, because I put the bottle right down on the rim of the closest glass and chipped it. And, you could live with a chip maybe, but then I cracked the whole side down. And I didn't know they were Jay's glasses. That was the funny part.
Yeah, I thought they were mine. He
I
was
thought they were-
completely
I thought
unapologetic.
they were Scott's. So I'm like, well, we'll go to Target and get another 4-pack for,
You ruined the whole night, Ed.
And then, and I see Jay's laughing, and I'm like, man, is he like buzzed up already? Is he like just so happy to be here? Like, I mean, I broke Scott's glass, and he thinks it's hysterical. And then I picked the glass up, and I'm looking at the glass, and I'm like, I don't remember this glass. It was an amazing glass. It really
Was.
nice and weight to it, lead crystal,
Past tense.
like you just looked at it, you're like, man, I want to put something in here and drink it. Of course, I can't because it's jagged and sharp now.
You know what you don't usually want to do when you see a glass of that quality is put something on it. See the big fucking hole at the top?
Yeah.
That's where you put stuff in it.
Right.
And not see how thin and well crafted the edges
I
are.
mean, beautifully well crafted. I
Right.
mean, it was like a master craftsman. Like Chris said, they looked hand carved, and I can't argue with that. I mean, it's one of the most beautiful glasses I've ever seen, and that just makes all that more tragic. And
Yeah.
if I could take it back, I mean, if I could, maybe even be unborn at this point, if I could just go back and eliminate my existence on the planet, just so that glass could hold liquor one more day.
If you were Sharon, could turn back time.
Yeah, if turn back time,
Yeah.
that's true.
But that's not why we're here.
No.
No.
So, Jay, I do need to know, though, because you haven't explained to me anything about the glasses. Where did you get the glasses?
Frickin' Ireland, Ed. They came from Ireland.
Wait, you went to Ireland, didn't you, Jay?
I did go to Ireland. That's in Europe, Ed. You've been to Europe, right?
Oh, yeah, I've been to Europe. I never went to Ireland, though.
Yeah. I think I've heard about your trip to Europe most days.
And-
But
These guys work together, folks.
lunch every day. We don't normally have such fancy glasses at work, though, and
They were wedding gift.
yes.
Yeah, he was
They
telling me about them, all about them before
Wedding
you got here and broke one.
well, Scott, maybe
So-
you'll tell me about them because Jay's not really being.
Well, no,
full.
here's the deal. My family, to celebrate my wedding, they wanted to get me something special. They wanted to get my wife and I something special. So they said, when you're in Ireland, why don't you pick out some crystal? The nicest hand-blown. You can edit out hand-blown, right?
No.
No, it's
awesome.
Normally it's hand or blown, so
Right.
it's weird to see them combined. That's a great night.
Perfect. Yeah, hand blown. That's
So we go.
that's what it sounds like my weekend.
So we go and we tour the Waterford.
Oh, are they Waterford?
factory.
Oh.
They are.
Oh shit, they're Waterford?
Yeah, the
God
Waterford.
damn it.
Hand blown crystal, and it does get better though because if you were looking,
gets better.
if you were looking to replace this tasting glass, Ed,
Yeah.
this pattern is only available in Ireland, so you can only get it there.
Well, what the fuck did you bring them here for?
Well, I packed them and unpacked them 3 times, and I finally said, you know what? I mean, it's going to be a tame night. It's going to be a cultural night. I'm going to learn a lot about bourbon. I'm going to learn maybe a little bit about myself, and instead, I learned mostly about Ed's carelessness. Is what I learned about.
Wait, tame and cultural. You've listened to our podcast before, right?
I think I caught the first 5 minutes of one. It seemed. I don't know.
Oh shit.
I mean, I've destroyed this family heirloom from his wedding. Not real much you can do to come back.
He's looking for it now on his cell
He's looking online.
He's looking
Scrolling.
online for it.
He's on Amazon
Scrolling,
right
like,
now.
I'm just dying to see, like, on eBay, like, one of Jay's glasses just sitting there.
Do you happen to know the name of the pattern?
Clanid. Clanannad. It means family, Ed.
Shit. He knows the name of the fucking glass.
Yeah. It means family.
God damn it. Wow.
Yeah, that was a pretty smooth beer. I see mine and Ed's are gone.
Yeah.
Scott, Jay,
I'm still drinking
You
it.
guys got to catch up.
While Ed's looking
liked
to
it.
replace Jay's glass, why don't we
Family legacy.
why don't we go through a little bit of the barrel-aged beer history? It's pretty short, actually. As Christian mentioned, it started in 1992, but wooden barrels have played an important role in the beer brewing industry for centuries. Beer was fermented in wood, aged in wood, shipped in wood, and served from wood. But after its initial use, wooden beer barrels ceased to provide much of anything to the product contained in it, except maybe bacterial infections because of the low levels of alcohol. Also, wood is porous and difficult to clean, so beer shipped in wood has to be consumed quickly or preserved with either the heavy use of hops, exceedingly high alcohol content, or both. So when metal kegs, fermenters, and storage tanks came along, wood was quickly abandoned. More recently, however, as the American craft beer industry blossomed, some brewers began looking into using barrels again, only this time it was whiskey barrels, the intent being to derive flavors left over from the previous use. And because by law barrels can be used to make bourbon only once, they were readily available and relatively inexpensive. However, whiskey barrels aren't great for holding carbonated liquid, so after finishing, they need to be recarbonated after emptying and then are usually blended back in with the same unbarreled beer before sale. The very first bourbon barrel-aged beer was developed in 1992, Chris, at Goose Island, Chris, Brewery in Chicago, Chris. They choose only barrels that have held whiskey for an average of 8 years, and they use them to age their beer for between 8 and 24 months in non-climate controlled space, allowing the extreme heat and cold of Chicago's climate to contract and expand the wood, pulling in and pushing out the barrel whiskey's character into the brew.
You did say contract and expand the wood.
Yes. Oh, okay. All right. So we're in 5th grade now. Expand the wood.
I'm actually more of a contractual guy, but
Oh, you're a contract the wood guy?
Yes.
Oh, I see.
so
Sorry, I'm sorry for your wife.
exactly for many reasons. But the collaboration with Goose Island, Scott,
Yeah.
that was with Jim Beam, if I'm not mistaken.
That is correct.
The
The
original
very
one, yes.
first,
Yeah.
the very first one was. And since then, Goose Island has expanded their barreling program so much that they now release every year on Black Friday a whole series of barrel-aged beers. And this year, there are 4 that I wanted to highlight. So there's the original Bourbon County Stout, which we have the 2017 version here.
Right.
The 2019 version is aged 8 months in a mix of Heaven Hill, Buffalo Trace, and Wild Turkey barrels, saying that they have flavors of cocoa, vanilla, fudge, caramel, almond, leather, and tobacco.
True. I don't know. True.
Bourbon County WheatWine Ale, aged 8 months in larceny wheated barrels. It yields a softer taste profile with caramel, vanilla, butterscotch, and toffee. There's a 2-year Reserve Bourbon County Stout, aged 24 months in 11-year-old 25th anniversary Knob Creek barrels,
Wow.
which have oak, hazelnut, and chocolate flavors.
Hold on a second, Scott.
Yep.
So, this larceny bourbon, have
Yeah.
you ever had it?
We have had it.
Yeah.
Is it any good?
Yes.
Delicious.
Very good.
We
Episode-
paired it with Maker's Mark, also a wheated bourbon, in episode 12.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Had you listened to episode?
That's right.
Listen, it's a podcast.
If you haven't listened to episode 12, go back and listen to that episode.
One little tidbit of information.
Yes.
Actually, the IPA came about, as you said earlier in that, in your little...
In my rambling.
In your rambling, that's what we'll call it, yeah. The IPA came about the fact that beer barely lasted in
Right.
these freaking barrels.
Right. Because hops have antimicrobial properties. That is correct.
Yes. They're also...
Science,
they all-
bitches.
Yeah, science, bitches.
They're like natural preservatives.
Right. Was it the India,
Pale Ale.
no, the India company, the
Dutch West
the
Indies.
Dutch West Indies.
Dutch West Indies.
I
Yeah.
think that's when it all started, right?
That is exactly when it started.
Yeah. History, bitches.
Yeah, like...
Yeah, Ed, you'll like this one. So the last one that I wanted to highlight from Goose Island coming out this year is the Bourbon County Double Barrel Stout. It's aged 12 months in 11-year-old Elijah Craig barrels, and then another 12 months in 12-year-old Elijah Craig barrels. But they don't have any taste profile notes on their
First of
website.
all,
So
I love the fact that with the 11-year Elijah Craig is they just got impatient. They just couldn't wait. Like,
Well,
fucking
yeah.
crack it open right now. Let's drink it.
yeah, sure. And you know what? There's a Goose Island brew house in Philly, which I didn't know about until I was researching this, and it's only a half a mile from where I work.
No shit.
I think we have to go.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
You taking me too?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Everyone can go.
All right, let's go.
All right, man. All right, bro. Let's go. Second round. Ed is pouring the second beer.
Oh, much more carbonated. Look at that thing.
This is the Allagash Barrel and Bean, and it's an ale actually.
Can you slide one of those down here, Ed?
Absolutely. I'm gonna
Share the
crack-
love.
Look at the head on that compared to what we just drank.
Yeah, there's a lot more carbonation, and it's a lot lighter. Holy shit. I
Yeah.
mean,
this is the one that was mixed with coffee bean,
wow. Mixed with coffee bean and so light.
right?
You'd never know that looking at it, but
No.
A Belgian-style golden ale, aged in bourbon barrels for 7 weeks, then blended in some cold brewed coffee.
does that smell anything like what you thought it was going to smell? I mean, based on the color. Back
You
to that.
really have to breathe in deeply to smell the coffee. Like if you breathe in deep, you can kind of go, oh, there might be a coffee like 3 miles away that I could get.
Wow.
Are you guys getting a lot of smoke?
Yeah, I'm getting some of that.
It does taste smoky.
I'm getting a ton of smoke.
And a little bit of coffee aftertaste.
I like it. It's a completely different taste characteristics than the
Wow.
first one.
Yeah.
Chris, what are you tasting?
Beer.
So the flavor notes that they tell us to look for are vanilla, caramel, and a dash of cold brew coffee, which is pretty basic. I mean, that's
Vanilla caramel and a dash of cold brew coffee
On fire.
on
right
fire.
on top of what Chris said, which is the basic beer flavored start.
Are we drinking a beer that tastes like a bourbon, that tastes like a coffee?
It's like my 3 favorite beverages all wrapped up into one. Coffee, whiskey, and beer.
Yeah.
It's perfection. Actually, though, I like the Goose Island better.
I actually like this better.
No, the Goose Island murdered this beer.
Murdered, killed it, put it outside, broke the glass.
I mean, if I'm out someplace, I'm drinking the Allagash. If I am just got done setting up the Christmas tree and I'm on the couch,
Home by the fire.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
I like your categorization there.
Yeah, that's a fair analogy.
It's fair. All right, so should we take a break and pour ourselves the third?
Yeah, we got to finish these off, and we have to stop sounding like NPR. Get a little energy.
I know. We're a little staid right now. I think once we get a couple more
I
beers
think
in us.
the problem is we didn't pregame like we normally do.
Well, there's also a lot of anger in the room right now.
There's a little tension.
There's a little tension
A little
between
bit.
Jay and
A little
Ed.
bit.
There's a
A
little
little
bit.
bit.
Just, I'm not going to lie.
It caused a little awkwardness because I didn't know I broke his family.
They are sitting on opposite sides of the breakfast bar,
Right.
however.
thankfully.
So we'll come back and we're going to probably, I would say, we're going to hit the Dragon's Milk Stout, and then it might be time for the Framinghammer Baltic Porter.
Have you guys spent any time in Portland, where this is from?
No.
You?
Yeah. Nice place. Gritty McDuff's is up there. The original one was like in downtown Portland. Go in, there's a mug club. There are all these ceramic mugs like ceiling. The guy gets a hook, brings down your mug, and, keeps track
wow.
of your. It's a nice place.
Very cool.
Was this when you were in like a punk band or something?
No, this is Christina's family, or should I say Clanad, is from. So
Completely cannot believe what I walked into.
Ed, you're an indentured servant for sure.
I'll tell you what. I mean, you can't put this on the podcast. Me saying I don't like bourbon, but I don't like bourbon and I don't like coffee, and I'm liking this.
What do you mean you don't like bourbon? Like at all? Like you just don't,
Never really.
you never really developed a taste for it?
I've never really tried it.
Well, what did you think of the Eagle Rare that we gave you? Just a little taste.
I gave it back.
This
You
Allagash.
gave it back.
I gave it back politely. I tried a couple sips, and
I've never seen Jay drink any spirits, to be honest.
Oh, well, I mean, that's fine.
Well, you have rubbing alcohol, right? For your joints.
Rubbing.
I do quite a bit of rubbing on my joint.
Hello.
Yes,
Rubbing
thank you.
alcohol in his joints.
Save it.
Thanks for taking.
No, I'm
us there,
recording.
Chris.
This is all recording. We haven't actually taken the break
I
yet.
thought,
Right.
I thought we had taken a break.
Well,
All right.
we said we were going to take.
We
a
were
break.
said we were going to
What
take
the
a break.
fuck really is a break? I mean, we're sitting there,
No.
we're drinking beer.
When you say break, do you mean we have to leave?
Right, it's not like we're in a coal mine right now.
No, taking a break means I actually press pause on the record.
So
That's
you
the-
would've
so we
that.
can, really, we don't really even have to. Let's just keep going.
Yeah, just keep going.
Stop. Can we reach the next beer? Let's reach the next beer.
yeah, which one did you want? The Dragon Stout?
Yeah, it's all the way to the far side. There we go.
Third round.
Who makes this, Scott?
New Holland.
New Holland Brewery makes
Dragon Snout, Ed, or Dragon Stout?
Dragon's Milk Bourbon Barrel Stout.
11% alcohol, so it would get you there. Roasty, malty, and smooth.
That's all it says.
That's it.
All right.
Nowhere near the aroma to this one.
Dragon's milk is a 17th century term used to describe the strong beer usually reserved for royalty.
Ooh.
Oh, knowledge. Medieval knowledge.
That's medieval knowledge on you bitches.
I've often had a secret belief that Christians are about 600 to 700 years old. I haven't been able to prove it yet.
Like he's some sort of vampire?
No, like closer to a Highlander.
A Highlander, yeah.
Exactly. Like just
From the Clan MacLeod.
yeah, like just that's why he's so mellow. He's
Christian MacLeod.
he's just tired from the being alive 7 centuries and all the questions he's had to answer.
Shit, I mean, I would be too, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Google's such a relief.
Google's such a relief to the ever living. He's like Mumm-Ra.
I was just going to say Mumm-Ra. The ever living.
Little Thundercat time from after
Thundercats,
after
holy
school
shit.
time for all of us when we were growing up.
Snarf, snarf.
I don't know what we're talking
So this ale was aged for 120 days, it says here.
120 days. Okay.
Yep. This is my favorite so far, this beer here.
Anyone just see Ed smash a beer bottle into yet another glass? Did you hear that? I mean, you can't trump your way out of this. I saw it with my eyes. And
I tried to ignore.
Why does Ed hate the glassware?
Well,
What does he want? What are you
Oh
doing?
my God! Somebody cut me down from the cross already. I'm
just
so
saying.
sorry.
What kind of sick individual goes
Scott, go ahead, do
after
it,
a guy's
Scott.
glass?
Anyway.
what? Ed Smash!
Chris, I believe you had some thoughts you wanted to share with us about this latest beer.
No, that trumped everything I had to say right there.
Ending glass and beer now.
Ending glass now!
Give beer now in glass.
Ed likes smashing glass! Jagged Edge is good!
Anyway,
Oh my God!
turns
Anyway.
out
Oh my God.
New Holland makes their own freaking bourbon, so
Oh, so they use their own barrels.
yeah.
Oh,
Wow,
nice.
that's
No,
And they also
We are on the edge of our seats, man. What do you got?
make their own wood.
they age their bourbon in these casks. So that's like looking in a mirror infinitely.
They make the
beer.
bourbon in order to have barrels for the beer.
What came first, the bourbon or the beer?
wow. So
The age-old philosophical question.
Reminds me of the time I spent at Yard's Brewery where
It's like a flute in your pussy.
that was
what?
that was band camp.
Oh, that was band camp. I'm
band
sorry. I'm so sorry.
Timing of that, man. That was perfect.
Thank you. Anyway, continue.
At Yards, they brew the beer. They send the mash out to a local farm. They use that. The animals. There's no way this is going to make it on there. Anyway,
You'll be surprised.
they,
We'll put bagpipes behind it. It'll sound great. Go ahead. Keep going.
the cows eat the mash, right? The cows eat
Christian MacLeod of the Clan MacLeod, living for 700 years. Thank God for Google.
It's not even worth it.
I want to hear what happens after they eat the mash.
It's not even worth it.
I
Then
wanna-
they kill the cows and they use. So I'm eating a
they
Wait,
kill the-
okay. I'm all locked in now. What?
So I'm drinking one of their beers. I'm eating a burger that's made from a cow that was
fed.
The mash.
The mash.
Oh, it was grain mash fed cow meat that you were eating the burger
Right.
While you were drinking the beer.
Wow.
while you were drinking
So,
the
like,
beer. of
that's
the
a hell of
same-
a pyramid
And
there.
the roll. The circle of life.
So what we're doing here is, well, everyone crashed.
It's the last episode recorded at this location.
Yeah.
So
This is my favorite beer so far.
Oh, wait, we don't have to be quiet till 10 o'clock. What
By
time?
the way, Chris has said that 2 times in a row. Let's see how many times he says it until we get to his ultimate favorite beer.
does anybody feel like this one's less complex?
I think it's sort of like a lighter version of the Goose Island.
Yeah,
This is good.
you're 100% right. The Goose Island is way more complex than this, but it goes to how much you feel like drinking tonight. Do you want to drink one Goose Island,
Yeah.
or do you want to hang out a bit?
Right. This isn't like you decorated the Christmas tree. This is like you put up a wreath and just sat down because you were tired.
And then you just, right.
Fourth round. What are we drinking? The Innis and Gunn Porter. Okay. It's a healthy pour. That's a friendly bartender pour.
It's half a bottle.
Cheers.
Thank you, sir.
Cheers.
Ed, cheers.
Cheers, brother. Thank you.
Where's Innocent Gun from?
Innis and Gunn. Chris? Since suddenly you're the research guy, I guess.
I'm on this one. You
right.
enjoy. You talk.
Okay, thanks.
Who's got the bottle? Ed?
I do.
Give
All right.
Jay a couple minutes.
Okay.
Well, the bottle says a bourbon barrel porter is the coming together of Kentucky and Tennessee bourbon barrels and Scottish craft beer. Complex and dark, this beer is matured using our unique barrel aging process to give it a depth of flavor with notes of chocolate, vanilla, and orange. Deep, rich, and complex.
I'm guessing this is Chris's favorite beer so far.
Why is that?
Because he said that about everyone.
Have I?
All right. Here's the story. They are an American country music duo consisting of Kix Brooks and Ronnie Dunn.
Oh, yeah. Shit, I know them.
Both vocalists and songwriters. Oh. They were founded in 1990 through the suggestion of wait a minute. This is Brooks and Dunn. I think that's something else.
Oh, my God.
I was sitting there going like, wait, I don't think
that doesn't sound right.
Yeah, sorry. I'll be back.
The night ends with me smashing the other 3 glasses and a fist fight in the kitchen.
So do you guys taste it? What are you tasting it?
I like it.
I like it too. I think I like it better than the Dragon's Milk.
It's comparable to a Yuengling Black and Tan, if you ask me.
Similar. I mean, I can see what you're saying.
I see what you're saying.
I have to tell you, I really haven't had a beer today where I was like, ooh, no. Like, I can drink any of these. They're all really good.
These are all pretty good.
It's going to be very interesting when we try to compile the order that we like these in.
A little more carbonation on this one, a little more zip on the tongue.
Yeah, I think there's a little bit more flavor.
Right. So far, the Barrel and Bean was the most carbonated, right, Jay?
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, this is out of Scotland, United Kingdom.
The Innis and Gunn. Yeah, that makes sense.
It is actually a foreign beer. As I remember, Chris and I used to drink another version of this. It was like a 24-ounce bottle that we used to get.
I was probably drunk.
Yeah.
I do not remember this.
Me
they live right next door. They didn't have to drive anywhere.
Chris spent a lot of time working second shift, so he would get off work at 11.
And Ed would be in full Freemason... What do you call that? Regalia?
Yeah, I would have my tuxedo on. I would get home from the lodge. It'd be like 10:45. I'd be like, oh, shit, Chris is going to be home. Because he literally works 5 minutes from his house. So I'd go in, grab my bourbon.
So you're actually a Mason, Ed?
Yeah, I'm a Freemason.
This is the first time that we've mentioned that.
Yeah, I've been a Freemason since about 2005.
Also Illuminati.
I'm not Illuminati.
Aren't you?
Illuminati.
Stop talking right now. So, a funny story real quick. I joined the Masons and I was married at the time, and I get a call from the lodge, and my wife at the time, she's like, hey, George is from the lodge on the phone for you. So I'm like, take it upstairs. He's like, yeah, we need an extra non-speaking person for this thing they have part of the ritual. You just walk around. You don't even say anything. You're just beating a body. I'm like, yeah, sure, George, I'll help out. So then, get off the phone. I'm thinking, I know my wife, she's uber curious. So I grab a suitcase and I just come down the steps with it. And she's like, what are you doing? I go, I'm going to Europe. Don't ask any fucking questions. She's like, what?
You trolled your own wife?
Oh, I did. It was great. I sat about a step and I laughed, and she was just standing at me like she still didn't know what the joke was. And I'm like, basically, we got to run bingo or something. Like, it's like that. I was like, there's nothing exciting going on, but it was just great because I knew she was like, it's our first call from the lodge. What does this mean? So her eyes, like, it was like the best, man. One of my favorite moments. So anyway, I would be outside and I would stand in his driveway, like the liquor bottle, 2 shot glasses, smoking a cigar, waiting for him to get there. He'd pull in, headlights would hit me. I'm like, there I am. Tuxedo,
bow tie,
top hat with a couple of glasses and some nice bourbon. And
best neighbor I've ever had.
And then we sit there, we drink, we talk, he'd laugh, he'd glance up at the window behind and be like, yeah, I gotta go talk to the wife. She's up still. So
that was an amazing story, Ed.
Thank you.
I like the part about you holding the 2 glasses.
The funny story is,
Took me a minute.
If you knew how many times that one of those glasses got broke in my pocket as I was walking out there because I would put 2 glasses one inside the other.
Sometimes bad things happen to good glasses.
What's amazing is I don't think in 18 episodes we've done that I've broken a glass.
No, you haven't.
I've never broke a glass before.
Mm-hmm.
How many years of bad luck is that?
7, right? Oh, no,
That's
it's a mirror.
Yeah, that's a mirror.
That's marriage.
Oh. Your wife doesn't listen to this.
No, she shan't.
She shan't. Shan't.
Should we take a break now?
I think let's
okay.
do it.
All right, let's do it. We'll be right back. 5th round.
All right, we took a short break, everybody. We went through 4 of the beers. We have 3 left to enjoy. And the next we're doing is Jack's Abbey Bourbon Barrel-Aged Framinghammer Baltic Porter. And Jay's going to tell us a little bit about that.
Jack's Abbey is from Framingham, Massachusetts. It's a little bit southeast, I believe, of Boston. So they named it Framinghammer after Framingham. So what do you guys think?
Ham.
I thought that story wasn't going to be much, Jay, but damn, it was riveting. So,
So this was.
I like how the beginning was right next to the end.
It was so quick.
Framinghammer was named after Framingham. Okay, good. So, John Adams probably walked through Framingham at some point.
Probably not. Probably not.
So this won the World Beer Cup of 2014 for the porter style beer.
Now, some interesting things, Chris.
Yes.
On the label, it says oats and brown sugar. And then my favorite part, big, bold, and black.
Oh, damn.
Which is either a really good beer or a really good porn movie.
Or racist.
As all porters are, this is a lager style, and it has many similarities to an imperial stout.
I would agree with that. Also, I do agree with oats and brown sugar.
I mean, this is really like kind of solid, heavy. Robitussin-y a little bit.
I would put it between the Goose Island and the Dragon
Yes.
Stout.
Yeah,
Dragon
it's
Stout.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at the legs it leaves on the bottom of the glass. When you
Yes.
tilt that thing back, look at the stickiness.
Like an oily finish almost.
Yeah, it has like a little bit of a hop bitterness to it in the finish.
Right. And it's a strong 10%. Damn, it'll get you there. I'll tell you that right now. When Chris and I used to drink a lot of beer together, we'd get together on Saturday and a couple of Hop Devils from Victory, like that. 2 Hop Devils. And like, it just, everything just shifts, man. Like the whole week falls off your shoulders. You get this stupid little grin on your face.
The hop grin.
We both go for the third one because we're splitting a 6-pack and we look at each other like, oh my God, what were we so fucking uptight about an hour ago? Like, nobody remembers. We drink the third one. We're just laughing. You know, the kids don't cry. They're yelling, whatever. Like
Beans don't burn in the kitchen.
We're
Fish
on
don't
the
fry
map.
on the grill. Took a whole lot of trying just to get over that hill.
I think
Now we're up in the big leagues, taking our turn at bat.
Oh, yeah.
Long as we live, you and me, baby, ain't nothing wrong with that. Well, we're moving on up to the east side, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. Well, we're moving on up
Moving on up.
to the east side.
We did it.
Wow.
We did it. We turned
We
it.
finally found a beat. Oh, bye-bye.
All right. If anybody's interested,
Yeah.
just take a little nip of chocolate and then take a sip and watch how that brings out this.
All right, so we have some dark chocolate stars
yes,
Yeah.
we do
from Trader Joe's shortbread.
And if Trader Joe's would like to send us some
Free stuff.
chocolate stars.
Just like, I don't know, like the back of my tongue and the roof of my mouth back there with the chocolate. Boy,
Scott's got a little
and if
ASMR going.
I was going to say, and if you close your eyes,
Wow.
you can almost hear Scott chomping like a freaking animal. You know?
Whiskey short.
I want to point out that Betty White is not dead.
Shit, that was good.
Yo,
Right?
dude.
Dag.
It like wakes up the back of your mouth.
Oh,
Hell
yeah.
yeah.
That was
Yeah.
nice.
You know what else would wake up the back of your mouth? Come here.
Hello.
There was a hoax on the on Twitter today that Betty White died. Betty White's not dead. She's 97. She's
I was
still
going to
alive.
say, Betty White better not have fucking died.
Yeah.
I will cry.
Betty White is actually scheduled to be a guest here next week on the
God,
Whiskey
that
Tangent
would be
Bag.
so great.
Yeah, it's going to be me, Scott, and Betty White, and we're going to do
Crusty muffins.
yes, crusty muffins.
God
and-
willing.
I wish I'd be Arthur. That's what I want to have.
Wait, did she die?
She died, but I mean,
did die, yeah.
we're just
I know.
How about Nelle Carter? Can we have her?
No, I want Nelle Carter, B. Arthur,
Give me a break.
and
I just think so right.
Nelle Carter, Mother Teresa, and Meryl Streep are going to be here next week.
Oh, Meryl Streep. Well, at least one's alive.
Oh wait, Nelle Carter died. That's right. Damn.
Yeah, sorry.
So the Framinghammer is better than I expected. It's actually very, very good.
Yeah, that was good.
I feel like it's a nice mix. Like the one that we had a couple beers ago, I said it lacked complexity.
Yeah, the dragon's milk.
This I feel like is a nice balance. There's some stuff going on in there taste wise, but it's not knocking you over the head with insert things that would knock you over the head.
Sledgehammers.
Right. It's
All right,
I
next
did
beer.
like that, though.
All right, next beer will be the Troegenator.
6th round.
Ed, now that's how you pour a perfectly freaking quartered beer.
Hey.
All right, Scott's is
do you
a
guys-
little high.
Do you guys want to talk about beer for a second? Look at the color of this thing.
That is gorgeous.
It is a spectacular color. Maybe the best we've had.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of
Oh,
dark
definitely.
ones. The color described by them is bronze, and
Bronze.
I think that's very accurate.
I mean, that's almost like a cherry cola.
Dr. Pepper is the word you're looking
Yeah,
for.
that's a beautiful color.
Hold on. What the hell is this called?
This is called the Troegenator Double Bock.
And we're back to a stronger flavor
Yes.
profile. I mean, you can smell it already.
9.8% alcohol. Chocolate Munich Pilsner.
Oh, is it? I thought you
Settle
said it was
in.
a double bock.
It says malt. It says chocolate Munich Pilsner for the malt. Maybe that's where the malt comes from.
That's sweet.
It's a double bock beer aged in bourbon barrels. You're right. Gotcha. In 2018. And I feel like I need Jay's glasses for this. Scott, can you read this from the top, please?
All right, settle in for an alternate take on Troegenator. An extended stay in bourbon barrels has transformed this fiercely loved double bock into a nuanced layer cake of toasted coconut, creme brulee, and whiskey-soaked oak.
Love it.
Way back when, Troegenator caught everyone, including us, by surprise. But putting it in barrels was a sure thing. Opulent, silky, and downright otherworldly. Bourbon barrel-aged Troegenator is for the believers.
Ooh.
This is a fun little beer.
It tastes like flat Coke mixed with quinine,
Quinine!
which is a
Past the
fucking-
malaria.
I know.
and is also an ingredient in seltzer.
Somebody passed the malaria.
Tonic water. Yeah.
Tonic or seltzer.
Right.
Both.
Okay. Now, knowing nothing about bourbon or
Except
whiskey,
not seltzer, yeah.
if you asked me what would happen if you brewed beer and poured it in a barrel that
Right.
had previously been used to
Right.
Cure malaria.
That's what it would taste like?
kind of in its simplest form, this is how I thought the taste
If
would infuse.
if you ask me, they went heavy on the malts to mask the fact that the beer tastes like shit.
Wow.
Damn, yo.
I'm going to agree with Chris right now. 'cause,
Absolutely.
like, out of the 6 that we've tasted, this is the bottom of the 6.
Right.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
number
the
6.
bottom.
And it's also
like freaking
incredibly
molasses.
expensive.
All right, so let's move on to the Allagash.
Yeah,
Before we move on, they do have some good beers, and I will.
Troegs
Yeah,
does.
Mad Elf, right? Mad
will-
Elf is
Oh,
Mad
yeah,
Elf.
Troegs Mad Elf is
Mad
very
Elf.
fun.
And if you wanted to send us a case of Mad Elf, no hard feelings.
No hard feelings. 'Tis the season. Am I right?
You're now like basically booty calling Troegs. You've like totally trashed
Hi,
them.
Troegs.
no.
Are you up?
What are you wearing, Troegs?
Troegs,
Are you wearing Mad Elf? Come over. No, we're just kidding. We don't like you. Bye. We want your sister.
Troegs, you suck.
Okay, all right. All right, let's go to Allagash.
You suck.
Let's pour the Allagash. We've been recording forever. 7th round. Another cork one.
Now, the last one, the Allagash
Curieux.
is a beautiful bottle. It's a pint, 9.4 ounces. It's tall and beautiful and got some bourbon barrels on the label. And we're going to pour that up right now. And it's an ale.
Ed, just my glasses.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah, before I break them, you should probably take them back.
Ed's-
What am I sitting on? Oh.
Ed just touched my glasses. and
Ed's
didn't
breaking
break
all of Jay's glasses, including the ones he wears on his face.
them. It was only my-
I have to say that this kind of smells a little skunked.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Just take a sip of it. It doesn't taste skunked. It does smell a little bit skunked. I agree.
Wow, I'm a foot away from it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
it's
I can
offensive.
smell
It's offensive.
It is.
No, I don't want more.
This brand was first brewed back in 2004, their inaugural foray into barrel aging. To make this beer, they take their triple, a golden ale, with notes of honey and passion fruit, and age it in bourbon barrels.
For 7 weeks.
After 7 weeks, they empty the barrels and blend the beer with a small portion of fresh triple. The resulting rich golden ale features notes of coconut, vanilla, and a hint of bourbon.
When did they put the live skunk in it?
And they
Seriously.
they say to pair
Seriously.
it with cheese.
Like Limburger?
Like
Or
like cheese. Oh wow. That's
Surprisingly,
interesting.
considering what it
Interesting.
smells like, it tastes a lot better.
Chris,
It tastes like a Belgian ale. It tastes like a Belgian ale to me.
I don't like this at all.
Oh, I like it a lot.
Not one bit.
I do like it.
Nope.
You will finish your beer right
I will
now.
not.
You are being a petulant child. Do not act all petulant.
I like the Troegs Doppelbock better.
Oh.
I agree with Scott. It tastes like
Thank you, Chris.
It tastes like rubbing alcohol mixed with cotton candy.
It's terrible. I would not feed this to my worst enemy.
Yeah.
Jay?
I'm actually okay with it.
So I don't really like the Belgian style beers,
And I do.
very much.
I do.
And
I'm turning my
I
back to
don't like wheat beers either.
I'm not looking at you.
This
anymore.
tastes like it might give you hives.
Yeah, so I think that's probably why I don't like this. So
I feel
I
like-
recuse myself from the judging of this beer.
No, you don't like it. What do you
No,
mean?
it's funny
Fuck is
that-
that.
I'm
You don't-
going to take these.
Well, I don't think it's
headphones
fair to
off.
the beer because I don't like that style of beer.
Oh.
And it was only barrel aged for 7 weeks. Like maybe 7 months would
Yeah,
be
you-
helpful.
You can't taste whiskey at all.
No,
in this.
I don't taste anything whiskey or barrel aged about that. Like
This tastes like a cheap Blue Moon that someone
Smells like-
put pancake syrup in.
Well, if you don't like it, say a Hoegaarden.
oh, Hoegaarden's awful.
Remember
Exactly.
that.
I
Remember
fucking
Hoegaarden?
hate Hoegaarden.
I'm going to get an Innis.
Jay, how do you
Dunn.
feel about it, Jay?
Ed, I think for me, after today's, run through those 7 beers, for me, this is like coming home. This is where I'm most comfortable in the beer family. I really enjoy a Vit beer. It's a great way to finish.
Well, it's good. Now, it's funny. I hate Hoegaarden. It's a disgusting beer to me.
Terrible.
But there are some like Chimay.
Yeah, I love
like-
it.
I like Chimay and Orval. Have you ever had Orval?
I haven't.
I'm telling you, Jay, it's these little tiny 11-ounce bottles, and they are spectacular. And I will try to find some for you to make up for breaking your glass. If I can find Orval, least I can do is bring Orval into your life because it's one of the best Belgians I've ever had.
Or like a Le Fin Du Monde,
Yes.
Oh, I like that.
right?
That's a good
See,
beer.
I mean, to
That's
me,
a good beer. This is terrible.
To me, that's where this is heading. It's not there yet, but
I see what you're saying.
That's where this is heading. And the first word that Chris mentioned was interesting, and Curieux means curious in French. So there's some mystery built into this beer.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do now. We're going to go through all the beers and we're going to rate them 1 to 10.
All right, that's fair enough.
Okay, so we're going to go Goose Island. Ed, what did you think of it? 1 to 10. 8. Goose Island, I'm going to give it a 9. Chris?
I'm going to say 8.
Jay?
7.
7. Okay. Barrel and Bean. Ed?
I liked it a lot, actually. I'm going to give that an 8 as well.
8. Okay. I'm going to give it a 6. Chris?
I'm going to say 7.
Jay?
I will also go 7.
The Dragon's Milk. Ed?
9.
9. I'm going to give that an 8.
I'm going to give that a 9.
Jay?
I've got a whole pile of 7s here. I'm going to go 7.
Okay. Innis and Gunn. Ed?
Yeah, I'm going 8 on that.
8. I'm going 8. Chris is going 8. Jay?
8, please.
8. 8's all down the
Wow.
board. The Framinghammer. I forget what that...
It was immemorable. You know what I mean? I'm going to go with a 7.
7.
Me personally.
Ed, what do you
6.
got? 6. I'm going to go 6. Jay?
6.
All right. The Troegenator. Ed?
I'm going to go a 6 on that.
6 on that. That's a 5. Chris?
I'm going to go with a 4.
4. Jay?
I like ass.
Okay. A 9.
He's an ass man. He's an ass man.
So I'm a bit of an ass man.
A bit of
so,
He's tossed a bit of sound in his day.
right, 7.
7.
I've
All
got
right.
plenty of them.
Right. And the Curieux, Ed?
It's the one I'm drinking right now.
Yep.
7.
7. I'm going to give it a 2.
Oh, damn.
Chris?
I thought you were accusing yourself.
Wow.
Chris?
You can't go below a 5. That's skewing.
Is it?
It's skewing the.
I'm going to give it a 3.
All right. How about a 3?
Damn.
Jay?
I'll give it a 7.
7.
Another 7. Okay. So we're going to...
All right. So do the statistics here and see which beer won, man.
Quiet while he's statisticking.
There's no talking at this point. Scott is ravaging an Excel program with
He's so focused.
with the speed that we've never seen.
He's so focused.
I did the wrong...
He's doing the wrong columns though.
doing the wrong.
And I watched him.
I did do the wrong columns.
He did the
Sorry.
Pythagorean theorem.
Everyone, shh. Please be quiet while the master is working.
Maybe you should have let Jay do this. He is a math teacher.
Oh, are
Oh
you?
my God. He just cut and pasted the whole GD spreadsheet pulled out.
I did no such thing. All right. So it is a 3-way tie.
Wow, that's weird.
Maybe I shouldn't have given everything a 7.
It's a 3-way tie between the Goose Island, the Dragon's Milk, and the Innis and Gunn.
Drop the lowest of each one.
All right, so the playoffs, they're still a tie between the Goose Island and the Dragon's Milk. The Dragon's Milk had 2 9s, so I think the Dragon's Milk wins. And guess which one lost? The fucking shitty-ass Curieux. Thank you.
Drinking it right now.
So what have we learned?
We've learned that Chris and I hate the Curieux.
That's the main
what
thing we're
we've
taking
learned.
away tonight.
Yeah, that was disastrous. It messed up my whole palate.
Oh, it's terrible.
We've also learned that Innis and Gunn have never put out a successful country album.
Not one time.
Nope.
Not like Brooks and Dunn,
Right.
right? Am I right?
Yeah.
Jay, can I tell my favorite story about you and me when we were drinking beer?
Sure, go ahead.
That's great.
Yes, go ahead.
So me and Jay were doing some stand-up comedy one night at open mic, and in between our 5-minute sets that we had to do, we decided to drink a plethora of beer. So we drove a colleague home, and we got to her apartment. Jay laid on the couch and took a little nap while I drank her vodka and ate all of her matzah crackers with butter, evidently. Like literally all of her matzah
She had no food to
during
offer us.
Passover. It was during Passover, so I'm literally eating dry ass matzah crackers with butter on it, and then just shoving it, and vodka, and just shoving it in my mouth. Right,
And that sums you up, man.
it's so great, right? It's so great. It's an image. for you.
Wait, who hasn't seen Ed uninvitedly ravage their kitchen? Right? It's
Nobody.
happened. Right.
Nobody. It always
Like,
happens.
yeah,
Like you turn around, you've got Ed there. You know, you wanted Ed there. You invited Ed
party.
there.
Yeah.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, are these frozen waffles
And
for
you turn
anybody?
around, you're like, damn, man, he's like all up in my freezer.
He
Are these
literally has his hands in your drawers.
Are these goldfish? Are these goldfish for your kids' lunches, or can anyone have them?
Hey,
So Jay's laying on the couch. I'm eating the matzah. She finally throws us out because it's appropriate. We get home. We went to sleep about 3 a.m. 6:30 we wake up. I realize, Jay, you never called your house, bro. Like you're like married with the family. This isn't a good thing. Like I was married too. I know the rules. Like you can stay out, but you got to at least text. So where's your phone? I have no idea where my phone is. So I'm thinking in my mind, what if you left the phone at our colleague's apartment? Then your wife is going to use Find My iPhone and show up there at some young girl's apartment like, is my husband here? And it's really awkward. But no, he left at the bar, so it was all right.
yay.
Yeah, but he's still done.
See? So I am really responsible.
Right. Until you tell your wife that
my
Ed broke your
favorite story.
glass.
It's my favorite.
I've met Jay's wife. She is really cool,
Okay, cool.
and I think she would understand.
Yeah, but it was my favorite story. Because I did that one time. Like, I was hammered and I just slept in my car. And then I arrived home at 6:45 in the morning. And
My wife had no idea
And
where
your
you were.
wife was there. Like, oh my God, Jay's wife is waiting for me. What are you doing here? My wife was wide awake drinking coffee, waiting for me at 6:45 in the morning. It was like a Saturday. I'm like, why the fuck are you even up right now? She's like, why are you coming in right now? And where are you? And let me smell your penis.
Oh,
Scott,
yes,
I heard you were married to a cheerleader.
I was.
Can you elaborate on that?
Elaborate.
Elaborate on that?
Well, yeah, she was cheerleader for the Philadelphia Soul for, I think, 2 seasons. And she tried out for the Eagles several times and made it to the finals several times. But yeah, and she just never made it.
I dated a member of the original Philadelphia 76ers dream team.
Liar.
Julius Irving?
No.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's good. I was wondering.
Moses Malone?
I told you I like my lovers big, black, and bold.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Chocolate
It says right on the
Thunder.
bottle he bought.
Chocolate Thunder.
Big Black Bowl.
No, in 89, maybe? No,
We totally believe you.
Sixers had cheerleaders.
I had a girlfriend at summer camp. Shut
They
up.
were known as the
My girlfriend's in Canada. Shut up.
the dream team. It was the first year.
My girlfriend lives in Sweden. Totally. She totally does.
But you can't reach her now, so don't,
Right.
so don't try.
I totally had a girlfriend at summer camp. Shut up.
Her name is Inga.
Her name is Charles Barkley.
Charles Barkley. Oh my God. All right. Maybe we should wrap it
No,
up.
not yet. We're not
No?
quite done. No,
Oh, we're not done? All
no,
right.
no, we're just getting funny. It took 2 hours to get hysterical.
This is a lot of editing for me. This is a lot.
Before we leave, I just want to say my friend Bob, who's been a big supporter of the podcast in Arizona, he actually married a schoolmate of ours who actually was an Eagle cheerleader. And so he got to marry an Eagle cheerleader.
Nice.
And Brenda, congratulations.
I'm not jealous at all.
on being with Bob and for being an Eagle cheerleader. And you guys are great. Thanks so much for listening. And I guess we'll wrap it up. We've had 7 delicious beers. And I'm actually sipping on Eagle Rare bourbon right now.
5 delicious beers.
We had 5 delicious beers and 2 other beers. And we spent, really, for the amount of beer we drank, we spent an inordinate amount of dollars on those beers.
We could have gotten like 5 freaking bottles of whiskey.
Right. We could have gotten cases and cases of regular good beer just to have extraordinarily unique beer.
Okay.
It was
all right.
really fun and worth it, though.
Yeah, it was
Right.
worth it. It was a great time.
So, once again, if you want to try something different when you're out in the beer world, try some bourbon barrel-aged ones, especially the Goose Island, which is the original, and Dragon's Milk if you can find it. I want to really thank Christian and Jay for being here, 2 of my oldest friends, and a great history of beer and friendship. Jay, Chris, thanks so much.
Hey, thanks for having us, man.
I'll come back and talk about glassware or anything you wish to speak about.
I will blow your glassware at the end if it shuts you up.
Oh, okay. All right. Everyone calm down.
Have fun, drink responsibly, don't drink and drive, and don't drive and drink. Be well.
Later.
If you enjoyed this podcast episode, be sure to check out our next episode, which is way better than this one.
Oh, yeah.
Also, follow and like our Facebook page at facebook.com/Whiskey Tangent. And follow us on Twitter at Whiskey Tangent. You can follow me personally at That Whiskey Guy. And follow Scott at Giant Cup of Awesome, spelled AWSUM, just to be annoying.
Hey.
You can email us any questions, comments, or love at whiskeytangent@gmail.com. And of course, you can find us always at our podcast website, whiskeytangent.podbean.com.